Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and all they're talking about on in the markets this morning is the NVIDIA earnings release. Listen to this.
Dan, I don't know where to begin. Promise me this. When you're finally wrong on this name, you have to turn up in a black suit with a black tie. But today you get 100%. To wear whatever you want. You're dead on. Is this the only game in town right now, Dan?
Look, the godfather of AI in Jensen NVIDIA. I mean, this is really the earnings heard around the world, the most important earnings in many years. And it shows this AI party, it's just getting started in terms of relative to what we're seeing in terms of peak demand. And now, I mean, Lisa talked about it, this tidal wave of spend, it's coming to the rest of tech. And in our opinion, that's...
What a coincidence that Nancy Pelosi's husband bought a lot of NVIDIA a few months ago. I mean, these people have no shame. Now, but back to the point, NVIDIA, the reason that this is such a big deal, the reason the stock's going crazy and all this is because of the coming of AI. And NVIDIA makes chips, okay? So here's a little clip. I won't play the whole thing, a little bit from CNBC.
Great quarter. There's nothing not to like in terms of the quarter. Here's what I'll say, and people are going to at me on Twitter all night long, but the magnitude of the guides higher, which they continue to do, become less and less. At a certain point, one has to wonder, what's the right price to revenue? Right now, if this company is trading at $1.8 trillion. All
right. Folks, if I've learned anything at age 50, by the time you're seeing it on CNBC, the opportunity has already passed. That's why what I do is I'm focused on things like private equity. And here's like this, like for instance, it's not on there right now, but it could be any time now. The AI chip maker Cerebras has like this huge chip. I think it's like the largest AI chip that's made. These guys are not on the Link2, who's one of my sponsors. They're not on the Link2 platform right now, but these things are coming on, every so often they'll get more shares and that kind of thing. But that's not the only AI investment on Link2. But my point is that for me, the real opportunity is in the things that I can invest in that are not being looked at or not being talked about to the retail on CNBC, because by the time they're talking to retail on CNBC, it is over. The real money's already been made, and that's the fact, Jack. I just bought more XRP on Uphold, by the way, because nothing stops this train, folks. Nothing is stopping this train. I'll be continuing to buy as I have plenty of XRP, but I'm gonna. I see this as the best for me, the best financial opportunity in the last 100 to 200 years. I am not going to, when my great grandchildren are talking about me, they're going to be like, how did that guy see it? How did he see it? All right. I think this is from a little while back, and I think I'm going to skip over this. I was going to play this. I'll play the very beginning just because to put things in perspective.
Another economic hangover after the pandemic is a sharp increase in the national debt. 30 years from now, it is projected to be $144 trillion, or $1 million per household.
I would say if I had to give one reason that we're all here, it's because of the financial crisis, the loss of faith in government, not that we had a bunch before this, and watching them destroy the value of our dollar. Those things are the reason we're all here. And so I do agree with a lot of the things philosophically that Michael Saylor talks about. I think it's great, and I think it's good that Bitcoin's going mainstream, and now Sean Hannity, I'm going to show you a little bit of this, Sean Hannity's covering it. I think that's all good. But that doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and lie to you and not tell you the truth like the fact that the government, Homeland Security, met with 4 Satoshis, because I believe that truth, when this story is finished being written, is going to matter. I don't know how it's going to matter, but I'm not going to be the guy who didn't tell you when I knew.
So do you know what a blockchain is?
There's a reason that Michael Saylor will not even touch that topic.
Is blockchain technology. What are the differences between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a bunch of other cryptocurrencies? What is a Bitcoin wallet? What is an exchange? Why don't you break this down simply for people like me that don't fully understand it?
Okay. Well, let's start with the basic principle. People came to the United States for 2 things, property and freedom. And Bitcoin represents property and freedom to 8 billion people. Satoshi created a computer program that would run in a distributed fashion on computers all around the earth.
Now, I understand what he's talking about. Philosophically, I agree with him. But the problem is, I can't get my mind around why, if they know who these 4 Satoshis are, I don't trust it. I don't trust, when I first heard that story, I was just like him. I was like, yeah, this is like a replacement for gold. It's got a limited amount, the whole thing. But my antenna goes up when the biggest proponents of Bitcoin and the government will not tell you, will not even talk about how Homeland Security, we have the agent's name, that they talked about how they met with the 4 Satoshis, and that makes this thing very suspect. And nobody else is there's only 1 or 2 people in crypto that are telling you the truth about that. And I'm one of them. Okay. But here's the other thing that has always bothered me. I don't care what anybody tells you, this is not the future of finance. What this is a landlord going in to talk to his tenant about what the tenant is doing to his power bill by mining Bitcoin.
It's a little bit odd. So what I've done is I've come over today and we've given 24 hours notice to everybody, and we're just doing inspections just to make sure that there aren't any, there's nothing going on that shouldn't be going on as a reason for the bills spiking. So let's go and have a look. Oh yeah, okay, so you know that we've given 24 hours notice to come here today because the bills are absolutely huge in this property and they've literally quadrupled. Now, I can see here that you've got some kind of Bitcoin mining setup. Is that what it is? Okay. So who's paying the bills for this then? Because obviously the electric that comes in, how much power do these things use? I don't know. Right? But you've got 4 of these. How often are they switched on? 24 hours. So you've got 4 of these mining Bitcoin machines running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Is that right? You can't do that. Okay. So what I'm having to do now is you're going to have to turn these off, and you can't use them in the house, I'm afraid. I pay the bills for the property. The bills this month on this property were £800. They've gone up from like £270, £280 to £800, and this is obviously the reason why. You can't use them, okay? And I'm sorry, but there's no other way. You can't do it. I can't individually charge you and allow you to do this, so you're going to have to stop using them, all right? Okay, when are you going to do that? Well, you need to do it now. You need to do it today, because I can't pay the electric on this house while you're doing this, and it's not fair on the other tenants either. Okay, so please get rid of them. I'll be back out in 2 or 3 days' time, all right, just to make sure that they've gone, and I'll be monitoring the bills. If it persists, then, I won't have a choice but to serve you notice.
So we're to believe that is going to be the future of finance. Come on, folks. And this clown right here. Then there's this clown. This is a .ether. Excuse me. The honest reality is big money doesn't care about $20 gas fees. When I see people claim whale activity is going to a different chain because of low fees, I just have to laugh. The whales are on Ethereum and they aren't going anywhere. The disguised whales might be, but I got news for you, buddy. All we heard about is fees when they started talking about the Bitcoin ETF, because that's when Wall Street was coming in, and Wall Street cares about fees because normal people and their customers care about fees. The only reason that Bitcoin and Ethereum have been allowed to get to where they are with the ridiculous fees and all the stuff around it is because of regulatory capture. And that's the fact, Jack. And you can't get around that. The only reason Bitcoin and Ethereum are leading the race and have been leading the race is because they stopped the ones like XRP who would have presented reasonable fees and such to the consumer. And they, through regulatory capture, they have given the market share to Bitcoin and Ethereum, despite all of the problems with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that is the truth that you're not going to get around just because you say so. All right. You want some truth? Listen to the adults in the room. This is Brooks Entwistle from Ripple.
For our XRP ledger and XRP, and built RippleNet, which is involved into a platform for cross-border payments with crypto-native services on top. Think instant settlement, lines of credit, liquidity services. And we've been at this now for many years. We needed to build a use case first in order to really realize the dream that we're very much living today as crypto has become this new normal in finance. I truly believe we're at an inflection point. The reason this event has 5 epic days of lineup across multiple cities in Australia and with an outstanding group of speakers and a huge crowd dialing in from all over the world, not just on the ground, is because of this point. We're at an inflection point and then some, and certainly, as I'll argue later, even more so in the region.
Okay, I found some interesting comments about a potential Ripple IPO. We're in DAIXRP.com. I'm going to be showing you that. And I'm also going to go over an interesting hypothetical price scenario if there was a BlackRock XRP ETF. I'm going to show you. It's a what's it called? It's called the something moon scenario or something like that. But I'm going to show it to you. In DAIXRP.com. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.